Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I am spending a lot of time in the garden and I'm gonna bring you along with me. Let's go. My car is actually loaded, but I forgot my speaker and my photo holder, camera holder. Let me get in. Eek. So I've got some plants already loaded in. These are zinnias, loofah, marigolds. Right there, there's some yarrow in there. My onions are in the front. I got onions right there, and then I've got stuff in the back. So I had to make a pit stop over at Home Depot for another hose. And yeah, let's go. All right, so we are out at the garden, and this is what the garden is looking like so far. So quick tour. These are sunflowers, and I'm working on corn, beans, and peas. So all of this in this area is already seeded, and corn is in. I made rows to plant beans and peas, and then I'm going to add onions on the outer edges of my sunflowers because they are a good companion plant for sunflowers. And then my dahlias are here and they look good. I got them planted out last night. Nasturtiums are going wild in my seed trays. I've got more broccoli to plant. Oh, there's a bee. And some lavender over there. And my tomatoes are all in. So I've got to get mulch on them and what I'm going to interplant with the tomatoes, which is going to be a combination of marigolds and nasturtiums. And then I'm trying to create a walkway right here. And so I kind of stopped. You can see it's 3 feet wide. I'm working on it. And then I have it here and then here. And I'm hoping to get some pine mulch to put down my walkways to help with weeds. Here's my garlic. I got to get this grass all out. But the bigger equation right now is just getting everything planted. I have so much to plant. Here are some of my cosmos. They have already started blooming. This marigold is actually doing okay. Just the lower leaves are struggling. Got marigold here, and then towards the back I have peppers and my broccoli. I have a couple more broccoli plants to get down. There's a marigold. Peppers, peppers, peppers. I need more tags. So I'm just using my wooden things that I had. And my cattle panel trellis is going to be back here, but I'm going to extend this walkway so I can get back here. And then once I'm here, so between this row and this row is my cattle panel trellis. So it's going to go this way and that way. My butterfly pea, my watermelons, my other melons, pumpkins, loofah, all of that. Anything that really needs more climbing room, cucumbers, are going to go there. So I'm using the corn as a trellis for the some beans and peas. And then I'll plant whatever I don't get planted by the corn, I will plant behind me in that trellis area. And the other thing I still need to do is put some staking on my taller, like dahlias, just to give them some support. And I went to look at Home Depot today because I needed a new hose. Let me turn this around. So I've actually upgraded my water system, I still don't have utilities out here, so we are still filling this water tank up. And my husband's bringing out our skid steer today so we can go over to my neighbor's and get it refilled. But I upgraded my actual pump. So I was using this Milwaukee pump, and it's good for smaller water jobs. Specifically, obviously, if you're trying to get water out of an area for, whatever reason, that's really what it's kind of meant for. It's not really meant to water a garden. And when you are extending hose all the way out to water, it just makes things challenging. So, and this hose that I have is from my sister-in-law's house. She didn't want it. It's too heavy. Like, it is so heavy. And to maneuver it through the garden is challenging. So I got this hose, which is this Hydrotech, and it says it's 100 feet, expandable, burst proof, what have you. But it's not really. It's not really 100 feet. Yeah, frustrating. So I got a second hose. So I picked up a second hose at Home Depot to extend it. I also bought this hose, a hose guide, just because when I am right here, for example, I don't want my sunflower disturbed. So when I'm trying to water over there, I have to create some kind of a guide to anchor the hose around it to get that direction. So I do know that our friend has a platform that I can put the water barrel on, and which will also help feed out the water, but it will make it nice because my hose will be up in the air versus all the way down on the ground. So let me show you I'm gonna stick this right here for right now. Let me show you my new solution. So this is another Milwaukee tool. This is using the M18 battery, and I have my water filtration, which once I start using either my pond water or my neighbor's well water, I won't need the filter anymore. But right now the water that's in my barrel is city water that has terrible things in it. So I have a garden hose filter on, and so we just connect this guy right here. Whoops. That is on crooked, hang on. All right, now we're connected, and then I take this green hose. So the one thing when I first brought it out here, I was like, oh crap, this is male to male, right? So we had to get an adapter from our hardware store. I'm gonna have to clean that out somehow. Let me run the water through it. And so I had to put a male to male adapter because this is female and this is female. So just heads up if you end up buying this. This is where the battery lives, and then the pump on switch, off switch here. And this thing is a bad MFer. It's a transfer pump, so it's meant to quickly pull water out, but I'm using it to water my garden. So it's sort of quickly pulling water out. And I think I used yesterday, so I was a little over 125 gallons. Now I'm sitting at about just under, let's see, maybe I'm like right at, oh, so I'm over 100 gallons. So I used about 25 gallons of water yesterday. So it's a lot more pressure and sending out a lot more water, which my plants are gonna love because, yeah, sprinkling doesn't do much for plants. You gotta actually heartily water them. So let me get that connected, and then I'm gonna resume planting my peas. Let me get them. I think they're in my car. Let's see what I did with them. So let's get this out. Got my notes. What did I do? Oh, it's back here. Like, what did I do with that? Actually, I have no idea what I did with that. We are going to figure that out. Found them. So these are 3 different type of peas. I have black-eyed peas in here, I have purple whole peas in here, and I have, I think, cowpea in here. I know which ones are which, so that's good. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 more rows for peas. So I'm going to do 3. Actually, you know what? I'm going to, well, anyways, that is where I'm putting peas. And yeah, I might put peas somewhere else in the garden. Depends on spacing. So let's get to planting because I got a lot to plant. All right, one side of my sunflowers, my onions are in. I need to water them in, and then, well, I gotta put some more straw around them and then water them in. So I've got white onions on the left and Texas 1015s on the right. And then I still have more Texas 1015s right there. I'm gonna start on this side and go until I run out. And then I still have yellow onions in that little terracotta pot that I'm gonna run on this side and then circle around depending on how many onions are actually in there that are good. I have no idea if these are gonna bulb up or not, or if they're just going to be small. Who knows? There's a lot of different opinions out there online that say you need to direct seed your onions, you need to start them inside, you need to not start them from starts. I've done it from starts before. I wasn't successful, but I don't think I did it right. And so again, this is one gigantic experiment. And a couple of my onion seed packets did say to start them inside and then transplant them, which is basically what these guys are. So anyways, we shall see. So I may go ahead. I have some Texas granos that are short growing, short season. So I may start them inside, even though we're almost, I think this weekend is my last weekend for my frost date, which technically last weekend we had frost. So I think we're definitely in the clear. I don't want to seed start them or direct sow them out here because I was not successful with that in the fall. But we'll see. We'll see. You know, again, one giant experiment. Okay, we have hay, straw around the onions. They are now watered in. They'll get watered more when I get back this evening, and hoping to get more of these items planted out. I had to put some of my stuff in the shade over there because they hadn't spent a whole lot of time in the bright sun, but yeah, until I return to the garden. Okay, I'm back out at the land, and I had to fix a boo-boo when my husband was getting the water bucket. He didn't see one of my one of my 1020 trays, and he didn't drive over it, but he drove over it. Like, he high centered it. And it was a tray of Lemon Star marigolds and Colossus marigolds. So let me show you. So I have no idea if they're gonna survive, but I have planted them. and I will baby them. And if not, I will reseed. But first, garden loss. This guy, I had to cut it. I have no idea if they will live or not. Here are 4 more. This was the tray. Thankfully the tray is okay. And then, oh, you can see, look, it's a full moon. I was hoping, really hoping, that I was going to be able to get more planted today than I did. I mean, I did, but I didn't. This was one, probably in the best condition out of all of them. And then this little guy. And then I have one here, and I planted one right next to my dahlias. So dahlias here, they are doing so good. Sunflowers back here, also doing good. Planted out all of my onions that I had. Tomorrow the goal is to plant out my zinnias. So I have some zinnias out here. I have more zinnias over there. And they are gonna go right here where my nasturtium pile is. That is a hot mess. I may have to reseed nasturtiums. And so that's the goal, is tomorrow is to get my nasturtiums and my zinnias planted. And whatever else I have out here. I think I have, oh, I've got lavender out here. I have lavender in my cooler, the kind that needed to be stratified, cold stratified. And yeah, so lavender, I've got a couple of eucalyptus, but I got to figure out where to plant that, because everything I've read says that eucalyptus has some toxins in it that's really bad for plants. So I'm not 100% where I'm planting eucalyptus, but it is so cool being out in the garden at dusk. You can see behind me, and then this moon is so pretty. It is so pretty. I've heard turkey tonight. I haven't seen turkey. Oh, hang on, let me show you. So here's my water barrel and the platform it is now sitting on. So that's good. It's up in the air. I don't really need it to be up in the air, but it's nice that it is. And then my neighbor said he has 2 more water barrels. And so we'll probably go get them cleaned out and get water in them before bringing them up here. This is a very large animal. Look at this. Look how big that paw print is. Like, here is my foot. There is the paw print. Here, let's go this way. Foot, paw print. Foot, paw print. That is, and then they took off this way. Nope, they kept running. That is with claws. You see the claws? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, who knows? Oh, that moon is so pretty. So, anyways, all right. Here's the back side of the garden at twilight. It's twilight out here. My broccoli is doing so good. And I have 2 or 3 more broccoli plants to get out here, but broccoli is thriving, and I'm so looking forward to more broccoli. Like, it is thriving. It is thriving. Peppers are doing okay. Everything's doing good. I've got a lot of flowers on my tomato plants, and I'm looking forward to seeing who flowers and produces fruit first. So, tomatoes are good. Tomatoes are good. Thank you for spending time with me in the garden today. Face this way, maybe somewhat. And until next time, don't forget to subscribe so you're always in tune with the latest episode.